Mrs. Tara Shah has done a tremendous amount of work to help the underprivileged in her home country of India. And it has been very consistent, and it's been very moving. I've personally seen some of the films and the work that she has done. I was involved in helping her with some of the projects. And what I found very interesting was about her personal drive and commitment to make something happen in spite of the odds. I mean, here was a woman with tremendous courage, and rather than taking no for an answer, she always found a way through. So Tara, tell us a little bit about what inspired you to do this work, because here you are, you're in London, and India is very far away. India works differently. How did you get the inspiration and the courage to do this?
Actually, since I was a little girl, my father used to say that if you have 2 chapatis, give one to the needy. And since I think I was 8 years old, I just wanted to help the forgotten and needy in India. And then I just came to London, studied and got married to Rajni, and maybe it was my destiny to help these people. So in 1989, my daughter Bindi and myself, we visited India. We went to Dabasang, and we saw a lot of, children without clothes, and it was winter time. And when we came back, it just went in my mind that it's so cold and these children are without clothes. So we told my husband Rajni, and we decided, it was his idea to take a container from here, but we didn't know how to go about it. So we tried to ring container people just to say, if you want to send a container to India, how can we go about it? After a lot of research, we were successful. So in sending a container, the first container was sent by, it was donated by Oswald Pharmacy, second by Ratibai Shah, and then all the containers by P&O.
And literally, that the phrase charity begins at home. You really started from home, didn't you? And you started the project with a single-minded determination to do something. And of course, it has grown since then. You've been going every year for 20 years. So you've been very consistent in your dedication. You've been very committed to the project. And in fact, actually, also there were a few earthquakes that you helped with as well, isn't it? So this idea that you were not born in this country. You don't know the ways of England. You're an immigrant, but yet you not only came here and settled, but you decided to do something for others in just one lifetime. How could you make that transformation? Weren't you busy with settling down to this country and making a living? How did you open your heart so? I think I regard those people as my family, and I have to feed my family, I have to clothe my family. They are my family. So you so it wasn't as if you were the donor and they were the recipient. It was like they were your family. You actually felt you adopted them. Yes. Really? So therefore, if you don't go in a year, then you feel that you have neglected your family. Yes. Because some of the families, we give 1 year supply of grain, and if I don't go 1 year, then I feel, I feel guilty. I see. So it's interesting, this is a concept that we have been exploring through the Masala tour, how the Indian wisdom is where the family and the community are kind of just a natural extension, that there isn't a real boundary between the family and the community. And of course, here in this case, we see that boundary being extended not just locally within the UK, but internationally, and actually being extended to the motherland of India, where where many of us have come from. That's quite remarkable. So tell us a little bit about the whole experience of doing the charity in India. About going through the whole bureaucracy and all the kind of challenges of sending stuff there, and actually also I remember you were going to very remote areas which are not easily accessible. There are no clear roads to get there, and the climate is quite harsh, and the days are very long. I mean, it must have been really tough. Weren't you ever despondent and said, "Oh no, I'd rather go back to my comfort in England," and
I get so much satisfaction, and nothing touches me. I don't even, weather, nothing. It's just, I just want to help. And the weather and even the container to release the container, it was such a tough job, but I just want to help. So I don't even see any hurdles.
So what you're saying effectively is that the act of charity actually gave you more courage, because you were clear about what you wanted to do and where you wanted to reach, it somehow drove you to increase your confidence and your courage in spite of the obstacles.
Yeah, and the love I get from the people, I help. So much love, and that draws me to do things, and I don't know, it's just Atul, I just want to help, and I don't see any weather, nothing, any hurdles, road, it just...
So what is, given that kind of experience, and you said that the love was a real motivator for you, can you tell us a little bit more about that? What do you mean by the love that they gave you? What was different about the love that they gave you that you can't get, say, on the high street in London? Or
it's very difficult to describe, but as soon as I reach the village, everybody, just a Tarawin has come, they come to truck, then I go to I ask them which is the destitute family, and they take me there, and I see the family. There might be 4 or 5 disabled people, no means of earning, nothing. So I just supply them with 1 year supply of grain, clothes, cash, and it's just they are so grateful and so much love.
Some people have called you the Mother Teresa of Gujarat, and that obviously is a famous example, and we've known how she has done it, that she has been very selfless and she has cared for people who are in very, very difficult situations, dying even, but she felt that she had to care for them. So are you saying that in a way their pain, their problems effectively drove you to do more?
Yes.
That's very interesting. What would be your message for the whole of Britain, to every person watching this film? Given the experience that you have had, the joy that you have got from the charity, from actually, there are various ways of doing charity. For example, a lot of people think that charity is about raising money, but here you are, you've done a bit of fundraising, but you've actually gone right to the end of the chain, where you've taken the goods and actually delivered it to the recipient. What is the difference about doing the whole chain of charity?
My message is, life is short, life is a dream. We are here today, gone tomorrow. So we must help people who are less fortunate than ourselves.
Do you think that by doing that we feel it makes us more contented with what we have, rather than, and less greedy? Do you think that message applies to everyone, not just the rich or the successful, but everyone?
Of course, yes. We should share what we have.
How did you see that quality in the poor people that you helped?
They are so lovable, so innocent.
Would you say that the whole word poverty is actually not a good way to describe these people? They're very rich in culture.
I don't think poverty is the word. Even I think I'm not helping. It's what I'm giving their share,
which they deserve.
Yes.
I see.
It's not like I'm not doing anything great to help them. Maybe it is their share I'm giving them.
I see.
I don't know how to explain, but
Yes, I understand. I understand. And would you also say that they themselves are very generous in their own way in terms of their subsma?
yeah, the love they give me is, I can't describe so much. They are so generous.
So if we were to take that example and look at everyday life in Britain, there is a feeling that charity is something about, there is a kind of arrogance about charity, that the donor is in a high position and he is giving, and you sometimes hear of examples where people go to developing countries and throw biscuits from the car or things like that. But what you have done is you have actually, in the films that you, and in the work that you've done, you've actually met the people, you've talked to them, you've looked at what their needs are, and you've tried to match your charity to their needs. That is a very altogether different concept of charity from what most people understand charity to be.
It just, I don't know, it's just come natural to me that, if I go to people's house and somebody wants to give me a present, they give me, they give me lovingly, like not to throw. And these are my people, my family, so I have to give them.
So what you're really saying is, in the joy of others lies our own.
Yes.
That if our happiness is directly connected to the happiness of others, that if we can make other people happy, we ourselves will be happy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And all the satisfaction I get from giving.
Yeah.
I can't. And all the blessings I get from these people.
Mr. Rajni Shah has been a really silent partner in this whole project and has supported his wife for all this entire 20-year period in the work that she has done. Mr. Shah, what was it like for you, getting involved and supporting this project from background? Clearly, there was a lot of sacrifice involved. There was probably times when there was, Taraben was away and you had to cook your own food or things like that. I mean, how did you feel about all that and being so involved in such a project?
Yes, I mean, there is quite a lot of sacrifice to be done, but I quite like it anyway, because she enjoys going there and helping the people. That's the main thing. So I really don't mind staying here for a few months without her and looking after this place while she's away.
So would you actually say that even a word like sacrifice is, if one truly understands the concept of charity, then it's actually not a sacrifice. It's almost like, it's as if it's just a natural thing, that it's something that for everyone should be a duty, because just as God has given us life, God has given us the power to share, and that if we exercise that power of sharing, then we will all be richer.
I think so, yes, that's quite true. In fact, if we look at the thing that we have to sacrifice for something which is better or which is enjoyable, then we should do it. I mean, we shouldn't think about, we shouldn't be selfish or things like that. So what she's doing, and she likes it, so I have to sacrifice for a few months. It's quite okay for me.